Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bryfrost here, coming at you today in Escape from Tarkov, and today we have the huge patch day. 16.9 has released earlier today, this morning, and it is the last final major patch before the release of the game 1.0. As we can see here from this roadmap, just really quickly, wanted to show you guys. So if I blow it up here, all we need to pay attention to is this segment here. So as you can see, 16.9. It leads directly to the release of 1.0. And as you can see here, we have the in-game event, which there is a new quest line that has been added to the game, which I will show you later on in the video. We have basically just a bunch of balancing changes and more adjustments to the hardcore wipe, essentially. Some optimizations. Tarkov PvE and Arena actually having synchronization now has actually come out. And then some more PMC customization options in the fall weather season. I don't know if any of you guys were trying to wait around a little bit to play the game some after this little data center upgrade that they did last night, but basically it was supposed to come back online. The game was around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is the time zone I'm in, and I was on at like 11 o'clock and the game still wasn't accessible, so it was almost like they should have just kept the game server down and just went straight into the downtime for the patch release. But you could play for like an hour or two last night if you really wanted to, which I just did some, like, stash organization crap or whatever. But anyways, guys, so we had that, and then we rolled into the downtime for the main update here. So here we are, jumping straight in. We have, again, just like mentioned before on the roadmap, we have the PvE mode synchronization between Arena and Tarkov PvE. So basically, I don't want to read every single bullet point here, so you can kind of pause the video and read if this reflects to you, but basically they're just mentioning all the nuances between, because now you have PvP mode, PvE, and then Arena. So those are like the three separate entities there. And this is basically all the nuances between items and clothing that you can unlock and how it reflects in each of those game modes. So I'll go ahead and just let you guys read through that if you are interested in that, because we will keep on moving here. So yeah, so the first bullet points really here about the 16.9 patch is they did a bunch of AI adjustments here. So basically just AI detections, AI looting patterns. So maybe this is partially PvE affecting for the most part, because I know some of the scabs they can loot, but I think this is primarily targeting the AI PMCs from PvE. This is interesting. Improve the AI grenade launcher aiming system. So I'm sure you guys know, if you played the game, all AI on turrets, like the machine gun turrets or the grenade launcher turrets, are extremely annoying and frustrating to deal with. So it'll be kind of interesting to see the difference there, if any difference is noticeable. We have like some boss behavior differences. If you're hiding in vegetation, so like bushes, they improve the detection system there. And apparently there was a situation where AI would drop their night vision goggles to the player. That's very interesting. There was a fix for cultists would apparently just stop shooting at the player. Some more PvE, AI PMC stuff there. So this will be another interesting fix that kind of relates to that grenade launcher change above. So basically fix several situations where the rogues, so they're talking about Lighthouse here, would fire the AGS gun outside their detection sector. So maybe the grenade launcher turret will kind of be less, frustrating to deal with, maybe especially as a bear, from just this line here. I mean, until really playing the game, we won't really know, right? So hopefully, fingers crossed, that is a good change there. And then fixes situations when bots were spawning in front of players. That is a good fix if that is true. I've seen scavs on like customs, for instance. They spawned in a little cluster right in front of me before, so that would be nice to not have that situation. And then fix situations when a bot group would summon an ally next to the player. Okay, that's interesting. So then we have a bunch of audio changes here. So fixing just basically different sound levels amongst various sounds. Remove the M67 grenade fuse ignite sound. I'm not sure. I don't really remember an ignite sound on the M67 grenade, so that's kind of curious to kind of go back and see how that sounded like before. Fix several issues with sound occlusion on streets and custom, so I wonder if this fixes a lot of the problem spots with sound on those maps. I know, especially on streets, the Tarbank building has terrible sound occlusion. You could be right in the room where you would loot the computers at, and someone would be coming through that apartment side hallway on the back, and you practically will not hear them until they are just standing right in the middle of the door, which is just absolutely ridiculous, and the sound is so dampened and muffled. So I know that was a big problem spot I noticed for sure. Added noise canceling and microphone sensitivity options to voice chat. That is a good change there. Fix issues with short clicks and sound artifacts when using VoIP. So that's when you were anywhere in the map and someone was VoIPing, you would hear some weird audio pops and just crackling sounds. So apparently that is fixed, which is great. Fix the issues with players still hearing VoIP after disabling it in the settings. So that is good, especially for primarily streamers there, when you have bad actors saying stuff in raid and you can't turn off VoIP. So that's good for them. Added the ability to quick swap microphones to use in VoIP. So then, yeah, just more enabling, disabling flexibility there. And then we have added the ability to adjust VoIP volume separately. So that is a great change also there as well. And then this is a great QOL that is added in the mass change of one QOL here, where your surgery kit will priority use to your legs as opposed to like your arms or anything like that. That is great. You know, if you're in a panicked little state of mind there, you know, just recovering from a fight, or maybe you just need to do a super fast surgery and you don't have time to maybe drag it to your leg, or you just forget because you're going so fast. Now it will go ahead and fix up your legs first as opposed to, say, your arm, which no one wants to do that, right? So that is a huge W change there. And then, guys, we have probably the most impactful changes here on this page right here on screen. We have coming up the new balancing changes for the hardcore wipe. So basically, I think this is just going to be reverting a lot of the hardcore wipe, and it looks like that's kind of what it's doing here. So as you can see, you can use the flea market now at level 35. So that's a pretty high requirement, which maybe that's a good thing, right? You still have to kind of progress the game. You can't really use the flea market early on. It incentivizes you to push through the traders, push through those quests, and you know, then be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor with the flea market, right? So I'm kind of curious to get to level 35 if you were pretty optimized with questing, like where you would kind of be in the task line for each trader to be level 35. So that's kind of an interesting question I thought of. And then also, you can only, I know this ending part's confusing. I actually went in game to test it. So basically, you can only list found in raid items. So that restriction is back on the flea market. The items have to be found in raid to be able to list them. So anything, if it's in your container and you die, you can't list those. So, so yeah, really prioritize like hideout upgrades or crafts or barters for your container at this point, or just items that sell good via trader prices. That's all you want to prioritize now. Don't prioritize something in your container that you'll be like, oh, I can sell it on the flea after if I die. And then, guys, huge changes here. So again, reverting trader prices to the values before the wipe. I did go in and check. The prices are reduced back to their normal prices pre-hardcore wipe. So that is a great change to just help out the player base. The scav cooldown timer has been reduced back to normal as well. And then apparently Therapist level 4 had some trade offers that were missing. I'm not too sure what was missing from Therapist. I'll try to figure that out and let you guys know, or if you know, go ahead and drop a comment below so that we can figure out what it was. And then the insurance. So insurance is back with Proper and Therapist now, and you can no longer insure with Fence, which is what the hardcore trader was. So I have not checked to see if the prices for insurance then are back to normal, because you know the price is determined by the trader. So this could mean that insurance is back on the table. You can insurance fraud your gear mid-raid. You know, you get a good PK on somebody, you do a full loot, hopefully they're kitted and not a Timmy or broke or poor, and then you just throw your stuff somewhere hidden, throw their stuff on you, and then you can keep going in the raid. You're not over encumbered. You can keep playing it out, keep PvPing, and keep questing without having to leave. So overall, that's great. I'll have to see and hop in game probably later in this video if it doesn't get too long, and we will see if the prices are kind of back to normal there. And then we just have various fixes here. I won't cover all of them, but some of the highlights here, there's just a lot of visual issues and culling and decals and lighting that were adjusted here. Fix the ability to use gestures while jumping to gain an advantage. I didn't even know that was a thing, so that's good, I guess. That's fixed, right? And then just stuff with the compass here. The Glock 18C recoil was messed up. Fix the ability to add incompatible attachments on an equipped weapon. Okay, that's a great fix, right? Fix issues with max level skills not leveling correctly after using a stem. Who has max skill levels right now? And who made this come to fruition? And this had to be fixed, right? Like, who's doing this? Who's so unemployed that they had to figure this out and got this fixed? Like, come on now. Fix several visual issues with the hideout zones. Fix the ammo used and accuracy statistics during local PvE raids. Fix the bazooka visuals and thermal optics. That's weird. Fix the ability to equip regular and helmet-mounted headsets. So apparently, sometimes you were able to put the rack helmet insert headphones and say like M32s or something on at the same time. I don't really know if there's a benefit to it. I don't think you hear double good. So I think it's just people are just coping. But so apparently that's fixed. And then just some error stuff when auto sorting your stash. So guys, that is the huge update change. And this is the final major patch here before 1.0 release. And again, referring back to some of my earlier videos, guys, I'll go ahead and leave it on the balance changes here because I think that might be the most interesting. But guys, just remember, in one of my previous videos here, we discussed when we think the release of the game will be coming out. And based off of the events that VSG is having at various locations that are kind of showcasing 1.0, and they're kind of giving some teases and gameplay kind of related to that, the final event for that kind of like tour they're doing, it was like mid-November, mid to late November, guys. So I don't see them releasing the game anytime before that. So I would say, being hopeful, the end of November, sometime in December will be the release of 1.0. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point because of those event dates. It won't be anytime soon. I highly doubt it will be anytime in September or October. I just think there's no chance there. Because why would they be showing the pre-release of 1.0 and 1.0 is out, right? So that basically sets the timetable. At least we have basically a month to a month and a half little window there of when the game will release, so you can't expect it to release around that time frame. So guys, just some bonuses here before we jump into the game to look at the flea market and also the insurance prices. If there is a code that you can get some free items and in game here. So basically, if you go to the launcher or the website where you can activate a code here at the top right, and you type in "release is coming," I will go ahead and have this in the description below. And make sure you do type it in all caps, or else you will get an error, and you will go ahead and get those items in your messenger in game. All right, guys, so here we are in game. So if you did type in that code, you will get this message here from the system, and you go ahead and get these items here. So you get a pretty decked out AKMN. You get a nice tier 4 rig here, and then basically just a gear set, almost like a Raider or a Rogue gear set, some PP ammo, PS, and some stems and stuff. So very good code to just get some free items. I would go ahead and take advantage of that. And guys, just to go ahead and show you with the flea market, look, here it is. Here it is in all of its glory right here. So boom, we got every item here, assuming that someone is selling it. And again, it does have to be found in raid to list, and I will show you guys right now. So if I'm going to add an offer here, see, I want to add this respirator, and at the bottom right, you can see the error. You can't sell an item which was not found in raid. So that restriction is back, which was prior to last wipe. And then again, if I want to sell these VOGs here, I can go ahead and list those VOGs there. So there we have that. And then I guess I'll go ahead and show you guys. Here is the new event that came into the game. People are still trying to figure out the quest. This is very early on. I will make a full video dedicated to the in-game event here, but you know, the beginning stages are usually kind of calm and people trying to figure stuff out. So this is the first quest line here from Mechanic. It is Friend from Novrinsk. I don't know how to say that, but I think that was a pretty good shot, right? And this is what we have to do. So it looks like a lot of reserve scouting. So a lot of these don't seem too bad to find. So yeah, guys, make sure you accept this quest. It is the event task line that is going to be coming into the game. I'm sure it will be similar to the other events where they only release a subset of the task at a time. You can do a couple of the quests, and then like the next day or whatever, they let you do another section of the quest line so that people can't just power to the end, you know, in like a day or two, right? So I will keep my eyes tuned on this. I'm going to be grinding the quest hard, and I will make sure to keep you guys posted on the event and just kind of what happens with it, right? So I will have a video fully dedicated to the event. And then, guys, just looking at the prices here, like we mentioned earlier, as you can see, a lot of the prices, they are back to normal. So I remember in particular this Flora armor here, the 6B13. Very good armor to get early on to run. That is class 4. This was like 80,000 something rubles before the price revert, and now it's 64,000. So, and then the Karasa was like 70,000. Now it's 50,000. So the prices 100% have been reverted back to normal. And then I guess the only thing we can check now is like insurance. So I have an okay kit. I'll just try to see if the insurance price is extortionate here. Okay, guys, yep. As you can see, insurance is definitely way back on the table. My whole kit, which includes a tier 5 armor, headset, weapon, a good bag. I mean, this, and I have extra armor plates even. Only 66,000 to insure with proper here, 80,000 with therapist. So guys, insurance is back on the table just as it was before the hardcore wipe. So go ahead and utilize insurance. You will not become broke from using it at this point, and it just, you know, helps you to get more of an influx of gear and just to stay in raids faster to incentivize, you know, fighting. So guys, make sure you take advantage of that, and that's great. That's a great change. All right, guys, I think that about does it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that this video was a little bit less structured. There was just so much information to cover, and as I was kind of recording the video, I realized there was something extra I wanted to cover, and I want to get this out in a timely manner. So thank you so much again for watching and being patient with me, and I hope you learned a lot of new info here. Again, keep your eyes peeled for covering the event that is rolling out in Tarkov now. I'm going to be grinding that very hard here, probably with my duo partner that I always run with, a super good friend of mine. And then, yeah, I'll go ahead and get that posted up for you guys. And, you know, you can go ahead and see what the event's all about. But anyways, thank you so much again for all the support and love. I appreciate you for watching this video to the end. And until next time, take care, guys.